I would say at the beginning, only 3 or 4 of us elders were deeply concerned about the rights of the Palestinians and therefore bringing peace to Israel. But as we discussed it for 2 or 3 years, eventually I would say we reached complete consensus and unanimity in pointing out the fact that there ought to be a cessation of Israeli confiscation of Palestinian territory and a resumption of the 1967 borders with small modifications as a basis for peace. And this is the official position of the United Nations and the United States and the European Union, but they don't pursue it. So we thought that we would get involved and try to revivify the concept of peace and human rights in the Holy Land.
And at the same time, I mean, very much so, you said that what you saw in Israel something that was quite akin to the situation in South Africa before freedom came to the black people of South Africa.
Well, in many instances worse. It's actually quite distressing. For one thing, we didn't have a wall that encroached so very seriously on the territory of other people. I mean, many of them told us that I used to get to my farm in 10, 20 minutes. Now it's 2-3 hours. And having homes demolished, the Israeli politicians are aware that they can get away with almost anything because the West is guilty. It feels guilty. It feels guilty about what they didn't do when the Holocaust happened. And they've given a kind of carte blanche. Now, if they are penitent, they ought to be the ones who pay the price of that penitence. But the price is being paid by the Palestinians. Part of my own concern for what is happening there is in fact not what is happening to the Palestinians, but it is what the Israelis are doing to themselves. I mean, when you go to those checkpoints and you see these young soldiers behaving abominably badly, they are not aware that when you carry out dehumanizing policies, whether you like it or not, quite inexorably, those policies dehumanize the perpetrator.
זה פוטוגרף, זה לא אורגינל.
يعني الأصلي؟
צריכה ללכת לח'אן יונס עכשיו. חזרה לח'אן יונס.
أرجع لخان يونس؟
أيوة.
ليه؟
אמרתי לך, זה פוטוגרף, זה ממנוע.
طب بدي أعمل غيرهم، ضاعوا.
تسمي.
ضاعوا القواشين. ضاع اللي زي هذا.
זה קושן אורגינל.
ضاع.
أيوة.
ضاع غير أعمل
זה
غير.
פוטוגרף. קחי את הוולד שלך ותלכי לח'אן יונס.
خذ الجرابين يا ما ورجع. خذ الجرابين اللي على الحبل. ورجع هات لها الوحدة. تعرف؟ بدك شيء. تاخذ الجرابين معك ولا؟ هنا الرجال. اجي. خذ الجرابين اللي على الحيطة. حبيبي مش راضي عشان القواشين من سهل. روح بدك يروح وانا اروح. بدهم يروحوا وانا اروح. هدول بدهم يروحوا. بدهم يروحوا وانا اروح على المواس. روح لما عملكوا قواشين جداد. روح يا ممدوح خذ اخوانا. بدي اروح انا يا ما بجيب. روح عشان بدي اروح لابوك انا. بكره بعمل لك قشان جديد. روح اجري ساعة روح. الحين برجال من عم ابوك. خذ القشان بكره بدي اعمل غير. خذ يا ممدوح. لما ادور القواشين الثانيه روح يا احمد الحق. الحقوا يا احمد. يا ممدوح